Hey, I am O'Malley the Alley Cat, and you can call me Alley. Today, we're going to do wigs. And we're getting a special guest, Robbie! Hi guys, I'm Robbie, aka her younger sister. I know, shocker. I split with that. So yeah, like I said, we're doing a quick tutorial on how to wear and store your wigs, because yeah. Anyway, first things first, your wigs. We usually get our wigs off eBay because that's the most easiest place to get them. We usually shop around and get high quality Japanese fiber wigs. I can't actually remember the name. Synthetic, yeah. Which is usually heat resistant, so if we want to curl them or style them, we use a low heat hair straightener. Yeah. She usually does it. I'm really lame. I do a lot of it. But yeah, anyway, this is one of our shorter wigs, which we're currently using for. It has not yet been styled, so we just got it. This is one of the raccoon twins from Peter Pan we're doing, and perhaps you cool like that now. This one would have cost us about $10.
I think it was
$15. I have had wigs. I have a black one, which is an Isaiah wig, which was $11, and then you get other wigs. This one, your female wigs with clips. So instead of being tied on or making ponytails, they just clip straight on. And you just flick them out.
Yep. And then you can also get pre-styled wigs because I was too lazy to style an actual wig, which has been crushed a little.
This is our most expensive wig.
Yep.
This one cost us about $150.
130.
30-ish.
Yeah.
So this is the most we've ever paid for a wig.
Which I actually haven't looked after it well enough. It's covered in dust because you can't really store it in anything.
Because he has a high pedestal.
Yeah.
Like his ego.
Yeah, like his ego.
That's why she posted him.
Yeah.
What else we need besides your wig is wig caps. I got these from a con for $2. But you can usually they'll be put in with a wig if you're lucky enough. And
usually it will say if they give you one or not.
Yeah.
So.
Bobby pins. Buy a truckload of bobby pins.
Yep.
Yes. We lose them every con, so just keep buying them.
I was struggling to find even one today to put this wig on.
Yeah. And you usually get a range of black for your darker wigs, and then light gold ones for your blonde wigs. And that's to help keep the wig cap and the wig netting on, so when you run around cons and fun places.
Like she does.
Yeah.
Roll around on the grass.
I usually end up, after cons, spending 2 hours on each wig, especially my really long ones, just brushing out the knots because I run around a ton.
Myself personally, even though I don't run around as much, it still gets really messy.
Especially windy, when it's windy cons.
This one we wore to Manny, I wore to Manny first. It was really windy. So it got really messy.
And it was down. Because
it was down.
With our long ones, we always plait them and then brush them out.
The store, I always plait it. Stops it from getting too knotty.
Yeah. We usually either store our wigs back in the original bag or a bag we get with one of the other wigs.
Like a Ziploc bag at all.
Yeah.
Just one of them.
That's usually for short term or short wigs because it's easier to store them, and if it's a long wig, lots of flicks, you want to keep it out so the flicks don't get crushed. But if it's a straight wig or anything, it's easy enough to compact one of these, put it in there, and just... Yeah. Or we get our heads, like this one, for about, $5-10 from one of our craft shops.
For us it'd be Spotlight, and I think these ones we got from Red Dot.
Yeah, because they're cheaper. So yeah, we like the long necked ones. You can get short necks and boys, but we find these ones are easier to style on, and
especially if it's a long wig like my actual wig. So it does touch the bottom, but it does stop it from getting crushed too much.
Again with the bag, I'll show you quickly. Usually you just stuff it down the bottom and then
And if it's a long wig, you will need to fold it up a bit. So if you fold it and then put it in the bag, it should be okay.
And it's really good when you travel, because less room, more clothes, better.
Yep.
More stuff you buy at con, a lot easier. We also do have a wig brush, but because we wanted to film today, it vanished. Yeah. So,
I think I lost it somewhere in the lounge room.
Basically, what's the difference between a normal brush and a wig brush is, a wig brush is all metal without the little bubble things on the end, which help go straight through the comb and stop the static from happening when you use, instead of using like a plastic brush. You use the plastic one, there's static with the synthetic stuff. My vocabulary today is lovely.
And stuff.
We're going to show how to put one on, unlike Gravy, who already has put one on.
It's pretty.
I'm going to put one on. I'm going to do one with long hair, and I'm getting my hair cut, so I'm going to do one with short hair. Longer hair is harder to put up, but it's not completely difficult. You just have to do it properly. So,
It's a pain in the butt too.
lots of people will do different ways. It's just how I do it. I know some people who put the wig cap on and then tuck it all in. I find that difficult.
And like personally, I do it different to what Ali does. So
you can get wig caps that are open end or ones that are closed end, like that.
we usually get the open end ones because of what we usually just get with the wigs.
So I put it on, and then the thicker part, the elastic down the bottom, and bring that up.
Especially if you have darker hair, you want to get it pinned back as much as you can.
Yeah, especially with a light wig. And if you have blonde hair, you can get skin colored wig caps as well. Alright, my long hair, I usually flip it forward and then tuck it towards my head. There's a lot of it. Like a pineapple. And then I usually just...
And then we would usually bobby pin it here and one at the back, just to keep it in place.
Yeah, if you pin it here, the front, not the top bit, but the underlayer wherever the fringe bit ends. And just one there and one at the back. And sometimes on the side, especially if I've got dark sideburns and a light wig. And then, yeah, I just usually ruffle it around till it's a nice, even layer. So you don't have that bulge in your wig.
Yeah. So I'm going to show you how I usually put a wig cap on, because my way is a little bit different to Ali's.
Different cosplayers do it different ways. Like I mentioned before, I have a friend who grabs bits and she just pins it all over. But yeah, she does this a different way, apparently.
It's because I used to have really short hair and this is how I started out, so this is how I do it now. So, and I'm not taking my wig off. So what I do is I bring all my hair backwards, so from the front I bring it all back, and then I split it in half. So I just half it like that. Then I grab them, I twist them across, and I just put it at the top. What I do is, if you can put it up on your forehead like you usually would. Yep, and then I would usually pin it down here, and then on your ears. There we go. And then I would pin it here and here. That's all I would do. So obviously that would be up on her forehead, like that. Ta-da! So that's how I do it, and I find it a lot easier doing it that way.
Actually, yeah, that's a lot better. Just cut mine out.
So that's how I put my wig on. So
and the new way I put my wig on.
We're going pink today.
This is my Marluxia wig from Kingdom Hearts. It's fabulous, as Marluxia should be. It's a bit messy, you probably can't see. It used to be really flicky, but I kept it in a bag a bit too long, and it lost its natural flicks, but you can always brush them back in, or use a bit of hairspray.
And sometimes, if it's a really good wig, sometimes you just pick it up and shake it. Sometimes that will work.
It works a little bit, gives a bit of volume.
Obviously, if it's styled, you don't really want to put it in a plastic bag.
Good netted wigs will have your normal netting on the inside. There's a bit probably the fringe, and your head adjustment sizing at the back.
There's also little bits here, which is just before, right there, that goes just in front of your ear. So that's how you put it on. So if you got those in the right spot, just in front of your ears, you know you've got it on correct.
I always mess that up. You have these little clips, and that's just to adjust to your size head. I usually do about the second one in. I have like an average size head, I guess. And I just flip it back in. And then what I like to do is start from that bit and put it here, and then flick it over, and then at the back I'll grab this and just stretch it gently over the back of my head because of all that hair I have. So,
and the longer hair you do have, the harder it is to get on. But if you've got your hair pinned down right, it should work.
Do wigs like this as well. So if you're styled, kind of easy when they're styled. You start from the front. So
yeah.
And then your back.
And it looks very attractive when you're doing it.
And then just tuck any hair that's in the netting underneath that.
And then usually you would get out your trusty wig brush.
Trusty wig brush. This is our
standard trusty wig brush.
I know this is plastic, but it's
Marluxia, it's fine.
It's one of our good brushes that don't do that static thing.
Yeah. This is why she has me here. Okay, that'll be fine.
And yeah, and then I usually put a bobby pin here, just before my ear where my sideburn is, and one on the other side, and then one or two at the back, just to keep it in place, and that way I can do this,
and it won't come off, and plus if it's really windy, it will not blow it off.
It will not blow it off.
No. And I just styled her fringe for
Lovely
nothing.
smexy hair. So yeah. Oh, forgot about like washing.
Washing, okay. Washing them, that's always fun.
You can wash most wigs.
If they're heat resistant, you can do them in warm water, preferably warm water, not really cold.
Not hot, never hot.
No.
Warm, soapy, condition water.
I usually just, I usually wash the wig. So, what I do is I wet the wigs. So you wash it like normal hair. You wet them, and you put conditioner at the top, and you just work it all the way through the wig. So if it's this wig, it would take a lot of conditioner. Or shampoo. I usually do shampoo and conditioner, but it's just preferable, whichever one you want to do. So you just work it through the wig, and then you just have to wash it out.
And then we usually dry it. We have a towel and put it in there, and then we kind of pat it dry.
Personally,
I pat my wig because my wigs come here. My really long ones I don't wash.
Yeah, so this one that I'm wearing is 1.5 meters. So,
my Miku wig I don't wash because it comes down to my knees, which is over 1.5 meters, and it's just easier to brush out than wash.
Yeah, unless you get something in it, so then you need to wash it.
Yeah.
It's preferable that you do wash it though.
We don't wash them all the time.
No, you do not have to wash them all the time.
We only wash them like
if you wear them and it's really like hot that day, obviously you're gonna perspire. So maybe you wash it then. Might get a bit gross. But
yeah, and then you just leave it somewhere that's not too windy.
Don't leave it in the sun because it might strip it of its colour.
Yeah.
Usually because we have windows that we can hang them up on, I usually hang it on a hook in front of the window. But some people might not have that. So just hang it up on, I don't know, like maybe a clothes horse if you have one.
Really? I just find yours in like towels on bed.
That's when I'm washing them, okay?
So yeah, but just, you don't really need a hairdryer. Well, you can hairdry it, but do it on either cool or low, and don't do it on hot.
So you don't want it too hot, and you don't want it to be... So if you're blowing it, anyway, you don't want to do it... Yeah, otherwise it'll go frizzy anyway, so that's the basics of it.
Besides all that, if you have any questions or comments or what would you like to see next, because we actually want to start doing like a mini series of how to, like we'll do a contact one and maybe a binding one. If you guys want to see that.
She was putting on the contacts because
she takes forever.
Yeah.
It's great fun on con. So
On con day, I have to get up at 4 AM in the morning.
that's for another question. So yeah, like I said, comments, questions below. Yeah. Alley Cat out. That's gonna be my new ending.